GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening. Flood cleanup is still underway a month after June's deluge, while CF Montreal has bolstered its roster with forward Brayan Ceballos. Traffic remains heavy with tunnel and boulevard lane closures. That's our look ahead. Emma, what do you make of that?
Tonight, the St. Mitchell Cultural Center hosts a showcase featuring Lars Huisman and Esther Kate, with performances by Peace Control and the indie band Babe Rainbow, starting at 7.
Tickets for the evening concert are available online and at the box office, priced at $15 for adults, $10 for seniors and free for children under 12.
The venue seats 600 patrons, with wheelchair-accessible sections and a designated area for families, and a refreshment stand offering local pastries and coffee throughout the performance.
The evening promises great music, so with tickets sold and the stage set, we have plenty ahead. Let's begin. Good evening, Montreal. Residents of Pierrefonds Roxborough have spent the past month battling the aftermath of June's torrential rains that inundated the west side. Streets remain strewn with floor panels and gypsum dust, and homeowners are still hauling debris and patching walls. Because many insurance policies fell short, families are covering a portion of repairs out of pocket. Local adjusters say compensation delays have left some households facing bills they did not anticipate. The provincial government has pledged additional resources, but officials stress that full recovery will take weeks. Insurance firms have begun processing the backlog, yet many claimants say final settlements remain pending, extending the financial strain. Community volunteers have organized cleanup crews, yet the scale of damage continues to strain neighborhood resources. As the water recedes, the focus now turns to rebuilding homes and restoring normalcy in the affected blocks.
CF Montreal is set to add forward Brayan Ceballos to its roster while sending defender Dagur Dan Thorhallsson to the New England Revolution. The club will also include $500,000 in general allocation money as part of the deal. The move shows MLS teams using allocation funds to balance talent and salary. Ceballos, a versatile attacker, joins a squad looking to strengthen its offensive options ahead of the playoff push. Thorhallsson, a steady presence in the back line, will bring experience to the Revolution's defensive unit. Both clubs released statements confirming the transaction. The agreement was announced today, and both players are slated to report to their new squads during the upcoming training week. The club said the trade supports its aim of deepening the roster as the season enters its final stretch.
Police responded late Tuesday night to a violent confrontation in the city, where a 22-year-old man sustained serious injuries. Emergency responders rushed the victim to a nearby hospital, and doctors confirmed his condition remains critical. Officers arrived on the scene shortly after the fight but reported no arrests at that time. Investigators are now reviewing surveillance footage, collecting statements from witnesses, and mapping the sequence of events to determine what triggered the altercation. The case is being treated as an active investigation, with authorities indicating that additional details will be released as they become available. This incident comes amid ongoing concerns about street violence, and officials emphasize the importance of a thorough police inquiry. The police department confirmed that resources remain focused on securing the area and supporting the investigation. No further information on suspects or motives has been disclosed.
Montreal's Public Transit Authority announced today that it will launch a comprehensive study of 8 zones that could support future transit expansion. The initiative aims to pinpoint neighborhoods where additional bus routes, light rail links, or REM extensions would improve mobility and reduce congestion. Officials said the review will map current service gaps, population growth trends, and infrastructure capacity across the island. The agency plans to consult with local borough councils, community groups, and planning experts as it evaluates each area. Findings are expected to feed into the next long-term transportation plan, which could shape investments for the coming decade. The study marks the first systematic effort in years to broaden the network beyond existing corridors, signaling a proactive approach to the city's evolving travel demands. City officials hope the analysis will guide smarter allocation of resources and improve access for underserved residents.
Health officials are tracking a climb in cyclosporiosis cases across the province, a parasitic infection linked to contaminated food and water. A leading Quebec physician warned that the number of reported infections has risen over recent weeks, yet emphasized there is no cause for public alarm. The doctor noted that symptoms typically include prolonged diarrhea, stomach cramps, and fever, and that most patients recover with proper hydration and, when necessary, prescription medication. Provincial health agencies continue to monitor the situation, urging anyone who suspects exposure to seek medical advice promptly. Authorities stress that standard food handling practices and safe drinking water remain the most effective defenses. While the upward trend is being taken seriously, officials assure residents that the risk to the general public remains low at this stage. The Health Ministry plans to release updated guidance next week, focusing on inspection of produce suppliers and public awareness campaigns. Later we celebrate jazz legend Oliver Jones for his talent and mentorship, plus more stories you care about. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's turn to Emma Leclair, who's got the latest local stories shaping our city today.
Quebec remains out of the national online alcohol sales framework, keeping the province from signing the federal pact that would let consumers order wine, beer, and spirits directly to their homes. The federal government continues to draft a countrywide agreement, but Quebec officials have held back, citing concerns that have not yet been resolved. For Montreal drinkers, the delay means the convenience of click-and-deliver purchases that neighbors in other provinces may soon enjoy is still unavailable here. Retailers in the province also stay bound by traditional distribution rules, limiting how they can reach online shoppers. Officials said the province will review the proposal further before committing, leaving the timeline for a signature uncertain. The situation adds another layer to the complex regulatory landscape surrounding alcohol sales across Canada. Local bars and courier services anticipate a shift in demand once the deal is finalized, potentially reshaping weekend orders and inventory planning.
Today the Montreal Roses were held scoreless as Toronto AFC claimed victory in their regular season clash at the local stadium. The match, part of the Provincial League schedule, saw Toronto dominate possession and create the majority of scoring chances. Despite several attempts from the Roses, the ball never crossed the line, leaving fans on the north side of the city disappointed. Toronto's forward line broke the deadlock early in the second half, putting the Roses on the back foot for the remainder of the game. The result leaves Montreal with a difficult climb in the standings as they look to recover in upcoming fixtures. Coaches from both sides praised the competitive spirit on the field, while supporters noted the need for tighter defensive organization from the home side. Local businesses near the venue reported a surge in activity as supporters filled the streets before kickoff.
Earlier today, a tribute celebrated the life of Oliver Jones, the late Montreal jazz pianist whose virtuosity shaped Canada's jazz landscape. Musicians gathered at a downtown venue to acknowledge his remarkable skill on the piano, his humility offstage, and his long-standing commitment to guiding younger artists. Colleagues recounted stories of impromptu lessons in rehearsal rooms and the generosity with which he opened opportunities for emerging talent. The program featured performances of his classic compositions, highlighting the melodic richness that defined his career. Organizers said the evening underscored Jones's lasting impact on the city's cultural fabric, reminding audiences that his influence lives on through the generations he mentored. Fans left the hall with a renewed appreciation for a figure who blended technical brilliance with a genuine love for sharing music in the community today.
Montreal Victoire announced yesterday that veteran forward Michel Carvinen has joined the club on a one-year contract. The Finnish star arrives with a resume that includes 3 Olympic medals and the all-time scoring record for Finland at the Women's World Championships, where she amassed 62 points, 25 goals, and 37 assists. Victoire's general manager said Carvinen's experience and proven playmaking will add depth to the squad as the team prepares for the upcoming season. Fans can expect her to bring the same intensity that helped her lead Finland to multiple podium finishes, and her presence is already generating excitement around the arena. The signing marks a significant boost for the club's offensive options and gives local supporters another reason to fill the stands. She will debut in blue and white next week, offering local youngsters a chance to see a true champion up close.
CF Montreal is set to tweak its approach for the upcoming weekend clash with Inter Miami CF. The club says it will blend a tighter defensive shape with its usual attacking drive, aiming to blunt the threat from Lionel Messi and his teammates. Analysts noted that Inter Miami's offense can overwhelm open defenses, prompting the change. Fans can expect a more compact back line while the forwards continue to press high and generate chances. The match is scheduled for Saturday night at Stade Saputo, and the team hopes the balanced plan will keep the game within reach. Ticket holders will see disciplined defending paired with quick transitions as the side works to keep the scoreline close. The approach reflects the club's focus on staying organized throughout the 90 minutes, and supporters anticipate a lively atmosphere as the team seeks to secure 3 points.
Now let's turn to our meteorologist for a quick look at tonight's forecast.
A steadfast high-pressure ridge and a westerly jet keep Montreal dry and mild this evening. The all-time high for July 24 was 32.3 degrees, set in 2025 during a lingering heat wave that pushed the city well above its normal high of 26. The record low sits at 10.4 degrees, recorded in 2013 when an Arctic front plunged south, shattering the usual low of 15. By contrast, today's forecast of a high 26 and a low 15 mirrors the climatological average, underscoring how the persistent ridge is keeping temperatures right on the norm. The live radar shows a clear canvas across the province, with no echoes moving into the island. The high-pressure dome suppresses lift, and the westerly jet at 50 kilometers per hour streams aloft, steering any moisture well north of us. With the air stable, we expect the sky to remain clear for the remainder of the evening. At 6 p.m. the city sits at 26 degrees, mainly clear, humidity barely 21%, and a southwest wind at 19 kilometers per hour. A high-pressure ridge sits over southern Canada, remaining steady through the night, while a westerly jet at 50 kilometers per hour rides at 5,800 meters, capping any ascent. That combination locks in warm air near the surface and prevents cloud development, so no rain will arrive. The UV index holds at 6, and wind remains at 19 kilometers per hour, well under any gust concern. There are no active weather alerts. By midnight temperatures will dip to 15, then hold steady through the early morning before sunrise. The next 5 days stay under the same ridge, but the jet will gradually shift northward, opening a slot for Atlantic moisture. Saturday brings a scorching high of 30 degrees and a low of 16, completely clear under the ridge. Sunday remains dry with a high of 28 and a low of 18, still clear. Monday the flow eases, allowing clouds to build and a 35% chance of rain as the high drops to 27 and the low climbs to 20. Tuesday the moisture surge intensifies, raising rain probability to 65% and pushing the high to 29 while the low holds at 20. Wednesday the system finally rounds the corner, delivering light rain with a 60% chance, a cooler high of 23 and a low of 19. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic snarled with tunnel and boulevard incidents. The National Bank Open lost its top seeds, and tonight's music lineup shines. We will be right back.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel is gridlocked in both directions after a major hindrance was reported. Traffic is crawling and the tunnel refurbishment work continues, so expect significant delays through downtown. Southbound drivers between Gouin and Henry Bourassa Boulevards are also stuck in a major bottleneck. The lane is reduced to a single flow, adding 20 minutes or more to the trip. On the Bonaventure Expressway near Victoria Bridge, an eastbound lane is closed for roadwork, forcing drivers onto the remaining lane and creating a slow-moving queue. Westbound traffic on Clement Bridge faces a lane closure with backups spilling onto the adjacent streets. The Daiquiri Expressway southbound is closed as crews secure structures, diverting traffic onto the parallel routes at Daiquiri and St. Laurent. All other arteries are moving freely. No transit disruptions this afternoon, so the metro and bus lines run on schedule. If you're heading toward the island's core, consider alternative routes now.
Montreal's summer pulse is on full blast. The National Bank Tennis Open begins at Uniprix Stadium, bringing world-class ATP action to the city through early August, a chance to watch rising stars and seasoned pros battle on a fast court surface, a must-see for any sports fan. Meanwhile, the Just for Laughs festival continues to light up venues across town, offering laugh-out-loud stand-up, improv, and street performances that turn any evening into a comedy showcase, perfect for a night out with friends. Tonight, electronic beats fill New City Gas as Peace Control spins a high-energy set, blending pulsing synths and driving bass lines, ideal for anyone looking to dance the night away. And for food lovers, Pacha MTL's Korean Food Festival at Hangar 1825 serves sizzling bibimbap, crunchy kimchi-filled pancakes, and live cooking dimos, turning the weekend into a flavor adventure. Whether you're chasing sport, laughs, music, or a bite, the city has something to make today unforgettable. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest Montreal sports headlines, from tennis to soccer and beyond. Sportsnet reports that top seeds Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic have both pulled out of the 2026 National Bank Open in Montreal, as confirmed by Tennis Canada on Friday. Their withdrawals reshape the tournament field and open opportunities for other contenders. CF Montreal finds itself in a genuine danger of slipping out of the MLS playoff picture before summer ends, according to Sportsnet. The upcoming clash with Inter Miami offers no breathing room, leaving the club with a steep climb to keep postseason hopes alive. CBC Sports Soccer notes that AFC Toronto secured a 2-goal victory over the Montreal Roses on Thursday, with second-half strikes from Lauren Rowe and Kaylee Hunter. Goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo made 2 saves as Toronto moved into sole possession of third place. CBC Sports NHL outlines that the 2026-27 NHL season will tip off on September 29 with 2 all-Canadian opening matchups. The Montreal Canadiens are slated to visit the Toronto Maple Leafs, setting the stage for a classic Canadian showdown to start the campaign. The Canadiens have dealt forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations, a move confirmed on June 29 that reshapes Montreal's forward depth and adds a veteran presence to Vancouver's roster as the off-season progresses.
Steve's Music Store on St. Laurent Boulevard in the Plateau has announced its chapter, auctioning off the remaining instruments and vinyl after 62 years of serving Montreal's music lovers. Founded by Steve Leclair, the shop has been a place where budding guitarists, seasoned jazz trios, and neighborhood kids have found gear and encouragement to make noise. This weekend, the auction will open its doors to anyone who wants a piece of that history, from vintage Fender amps to rare records that have spun in local cafes for generations. For Montreal, the store has been more than a retailer. It's a rehearsal space, a meeting point, and a soundtrack to countless lives. Its farewell reminds us how small businesses shape the cultural pulse of our city. Stay tuned for a heartwarming tribute to jazz legend Oliver Jones, whose talent and mentorship have inspired generations, coming up next.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
On the leafy west end of Montreal, just beyond the quiet streets of Côte Saint-Luc, the stone facades of Villa Maria Estate stand in amber light of evening. The historic grounds, once the home of a pioneering family and now the campus of Villa Maria College, have been tended by local congregation that has cared for the property for generations. This evening, we hear how the congregation has decided to place the estate on the market, with one condition: any new owner must honor existing lease that allows the college to continue nurturing young minds within those walls. Inside the main hall, sunlight streams through stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on polished wooden floors where students gather for music and study. A retired teacher who taught there for 30 years says the estate feels like a living library, its ivy-clad arches holding stories of community and learning. That the college will remain, even as new stewardship arrives, gives the neighborhood a sense of continuity and hope. Montreal's heritage is strongest when it is shared and preserved, and Villa Maria stands ready for its next chapter. We will watch with optimism as this beloved landmark serves the city.
Here on St. Laurent Boulevard, the scent of fresh bagels and the hum of street musicians set the backdrop for a story that still echoes in our neighborhoods today. In the summer of 1976, as Montreal prepared for the Olympic Games, the federal government made a quiet but profound decision. It stripped away nationality and ethnic origin criteria from immigration selection, and for the first time formally recognized refugee status. The result was a wave of families from distant shores stepping off the train at Central Station, clutching handwritten letters of hope. I met Marie, whose parents arrived from Chile that autumn, their suitcase filled with a single photograph of a mountain village and a battered accordion. Within weeks, the community gathered in the local park, sharing music, cooking together, and teaching their children French lullabies. That simple act of welcome turned strangers into neighbors and helped shape the vibrant multicultural tapestry we see today. You might be wondering how that policy shift still feels in our streets. It lives in the spontaneous celebrations on Rue Saint-Denis where languages blend like a familiar song. Every evening the lights of the old market square flicker on, reminding us that openness is a habit, not a headline. And that is why Montreal's heart keeps growing, one shared story at a time.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunset. From the ongoing flood cleanup a month after June's deluge to the city's vibrant stories, we've appreciated sharing them with you. Stay tuned for tomorrow's headlines, and as always, keep looking toward the sunset. We'll bring you the latest developments in the people who shape our community.